Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever adventure log for the Dead Unicorn. I'm Corey and we have been playing X2 Castle Amber. It's a classic adventure, one of the best adventures of all time, and we've been having a blast with this thing. Going over just a couple things that were interesting during the game. Now, Colin had been out for 2 weeks. He had his brother was getting married, and congratulations to him. When Colin came back, I thought it was a good idea to do something a little sneaky. So I contacted him and I said, hey Colin, there are doppelgangers in this place, in this household. How would you feel about playing a doppelganger of Lugaroo? And we had to hash out like what the goal of the doppelganger is, you know, how it would be fun. You just don't want to throw something in to screw the players without any recourse or anything like that. You want it to add to the enjoyment of the game. So we came up with a whole little like bullet points, little touchstones. One, we want it to change the clothing and the appearance of Lugaroo so it might raise suspicions. Secondly, we wanted to have him act just slightly different. And third, we wanted to give him a clear goal that wasn't just kill the PCs. That goal was to steal a magical item. We came up with a scenario where if the PCs were in pitched battle, Lugaroo was going to yell at somebody to toss him a magic weapon. When he got this magic weapon, he was just going to leave the PCs there to fight the creature all by itself with his magic and steal the magic weapon. We thought this would be a great thing, but we were going to give ample opportunity for the PCs to be suspicious of Lugaroo. So how did it turn out? Well, Lugaroo came in and Colin did a superb job. He started in with one voice and then cleared his throat and then did his Lugaroo voice instead. He acted like he knew everybody, even though he'd never met one of the characters. Yeah, he really tried to be a fake version of him. The problem was all of the PCs were so into their own business. Like, they were healing themselves and they were repairing their armor and their weapons that they really didn't notice at all. And one person, I believe Tarek's character Ahed, was like, hey, why don't you give his weapon back? And Colin messed up just slightly on what was supposed to happen. He was supposed to take a magical weapon from the PCs. He was being offered one. So I corrected Colin right there and said, no, you should take that. And Colin immediately switched and was like, yeah, I'll take that weapon. And then I sent him a private message saying he should get out of there as fast as possible. And we've discussed getting out of there. If he needed to leave, or if anything needed to happen that he wanted to happen, he was supposed to give the lamest excuses possible. And he did not disappoint. He said he was going to go get sandwiches. We're all going to have sandwiches. It's going to be great. And he was able to get away with it. And Howard's character, Theldred, almost went with him. He got too much into his clerical work, apparently, and got distracted. He was looking at his spells. He was like, how do I repair this? How do I do that? And by the time he was like, wait, what? Where did he go? Dang it. It was a blast. It really was. They'll probably run into this doppelganger again. I'll give them a chance one more time to retrieve what was stolen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. The other thing I wanted to touch on was the ogre who believes himself to be Janet Amber. It's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek joke, and I didn't know how well it's going to be received. I was really apprehensive about this joke, mainly because I don't want to upset anyone in the trans community. People going through that, it's very trying, and I don't want to make fun of them or their struggles at all. There's a lot of struggles trans people go through where, especially trans women, who feel like they're too manly or they don't look pretty enough to be a woman. All of that kind of stuff. And this ogre who he murdered Janet and took its identity and is deranged because of it. This ogre's not a trans person. It's not the same thing at all. While it's supposed to be comedic, it's not supposed to be any sort of dig. And I know I'm repeating that again. I thought it needed to be said. You know what? Let me read you what it says in the book. It's very short. The writers weren't thinking about this at all. It was supposed to be more like Monty Python. You know how Monty Python, they don't have women in their comedy troupe, so they just dressed up as women and did a spam skit. It's kind of like that. You know, men dressing up as women. That's comedy. So, you know, if the party quietly investigates the drawn curtains, they will find an individual apparently asleep, bundled under the covers. The figure under the blanket is completely covered. The party will notice that the figure is larger than normal size and does not fit well in the bed. If awakened, the ogre will try to act the part of a gracious host. Unfortunately, its command of language and social graces is slight and will become more and more frustrated as it continues to make mistakes until the ogre finally goes berserk and attacks. I don't know, Crystal, what do you think?
I do feel like the ogre tried its best to act like a high-class person. It didn't start off polite, but that's probably because one of our party just yanked the covers off.
Yeah.
Which is rude.
So, to me, if you're gonna wake up a person who believes himself to be a sleeping lady of high class, I'm going to make it react like that.
Like, oh, pervert, get out of my room! Which was perfect.
Yeah. What do you think about the portrayal of this ogre in the game? Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching this first adventure log. Please check out our Patreon. Here are our patron squires, and like and subscribe. See you later, guys.